Hey everyone, Pine Grove News Live, 6:01 p.m. here on the East Coast, and happy Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know whether you have to work tomorrow, but blessings to you anyway. I know I'm going to make a morning decision. I said I was going to work. I don't get paid for it unless I go, so um, we'll see. Mornings are pretty tough for me, so yeah, we'll see. Anyways, let's get the news rolling along. There's nothing much to talk about here except 40s today. It's going to be in the teens, and it's coldest tomorrow. I think I saw this morning 25 and then 13 feel like with pretty big winds. While we're going through that, I think Northern California is going to get some rain. They got mist today. Um, you know, just pray for steady, slow, consistent rain for them because they are in a drought, like most of California. So let's just go along. Got a lot of news to cover. I'm going to cover it pretty quick. Almost missed the start. I was so, dog tired, man. I just, I don't know, watching the idiot box and fell asleep. 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, man. That's really tough. Tough for me for a long time. So, anyways, apparently, we're going to talk about some other things here too, like, uh, news that was yesterday. Okay, because I don't come on and do the news usually on the weekends. And then I'm going to show you at least one other article that I know of, and I've heard that there's been more. People just regenerate news and think that we're stupid. I know other people, they use, they have their own stock photos and so on. And so every once in a while, they'll throw the same photo in there. And I was talking to World Watchman, Northern California, and yeah, we just do a lot of the news, so we know what's, when we run across it. But anyways, this was yesterday. Google went dark yesterday, I believe, and even though it was posted today. Anyways, mysterious error brings down internet search giant in parts of U.S. and Europe. Now, I had to do it during the day because I'm normally not online during the day. Usually have some earbuds. I'm listening to praise and worship songs and maybe a couple mini sermons. So Google servers went down, let's see, around 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. That they're calling it today. Yeah, today. They're calling it today, but it was out yesterday. So I don't know. Go figure. Maybe it was out again today. But anyway, Google is having issues since 11:29 a.m. today. So who knows? Could have two people that are wrong. With maybe it went out yesterday, and also I know it went out the day before, yesterday or the day before it went out. And then we have this, but I wanted to show you, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Anyway, so yeah, between that and the stocks falling, I mean, and the stock market, period. There's news about that too, man. We have to be very what do you want to say, conscientious, aware that this could be, the trigger or something else may trigger this because even in the past 5 years of myself and others watching this economic collapse that's been going on since, I don't know, 2012, maybe earlier, 2008. There are just signs. I mean, we've already, according to, did I get the Investment Watch or something like that? According to them, uh, they've already went through all the earnings or the pluses for the year of 2017. And I've heard, I'm not too sure about today. They said it was something got hit today, but they were already, when I did news on Friday, I think that was the day, or it could have been over the weekend. Couldn't have been over the weekend because they were close. But so it had to have been Friday that they were down 500. And that at that point they were already went through the the pluses for that year. They already mentioned that in another headline. So folks, they are now operating in the red. I mean, I don't even know if that's possible, but that's what they're doing. I mean, heck, this government's operating in the red supposedly, and so are all the other governments. The only one who's got money is the Federal Reserve and the elites. That was their goal. Now there's even more talk about whittling down the population. And folks, we've been getting poisoned for a long time. Not just you wonder why the government wants to take over your water supply, your food supply, the air you breathe, that they're spraying the stuff in there. I mean, I know some people may think that, yeah, we're just conspiracy nuts, but no, man, take a look at the news. There's too much of the news out there to make it, unreal. But in any case, and there's a lot of people getting sick, more than ever before, especially with cancers. So of course, there's others things that people are getting, having problems early, having to go to big pharma earlier in their life when it's not supposed to be that way. All right, let's move on. This is from Blacklisted News. White House authorizes lethal force at the border. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't speak right now. So, I mean, anyways, White House authorizes lethal force at the border. President Trump's chief of staff, John Kelly, signed a memo late Tuesday, allowing troops stationed at the border to act in a law enforcement capability or capacity and use lethal force if necessary. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, we're not going to pray to the Lord that nothing happens, that, these migrants, if they are truly migrants and not paid whomever from other countries to come here and cause the U.S. much grief. I mean, we already know some of these groups, these protesters are already, they're being paid to cause havoc and create riots and of course we know the chief of all that. It's not just George Soros. It's Lucifer himself. All he's here to do. He is here to kill, steal, and destroy. Well, let's go into prayer and pray about these things so that, he's already been defeated. He just doesn't know it. He won't admit it. And he has a short time, so he's angry, very angry. And we're going to be, in the brunt of his anger. So in any case, you think about the possibilities that could happen on the border when, 7,000 people, whatever the number is, because it keeps changing constantly. Whatever the number is, I mean, you can go crazy thinking about the scenarios. I mean, yeah, nobody's going to look on it kindly if some woman throws a freaking rock at a United States veteran or soldier and gets shot. That just doesn't look good, whether, it was necessary or not, or whether it was, well, you know, in any case, you know what I'm talking about. It's not going to look good. I mean, it just won't. I mean, just the thought of it, will make the soldier look bad, even though it's not his fault. Anyways, pray for those people who, if they get up to here in those numbers and they try to come here illegally and try to force their way in, maybe they can, have a bout of reason, go through their heads. Hope that they're not totally delusional, that they cannot make the right decision to live or die. In any case, a new cabinet order allows Department of Defense military personnel to perform those military protective activities that the secret Secretary of Defense determines are reasonable, necessary to protect border agents, including the show or use of force, including lethal force, where necessary. Crowd control, temporary detention, and cursory search. Yeah. Well, we'll just let that go and we'll see what happens. Yeah, and this is just adding to it. American troops may not start leaving the southern border this week after all. Of course, I didn't know that they were leaving. First of all, they're the ones that are building the fence. Yeah. Guess our soldiers can do many things. Let's see. This is from IntelliHub. Useless eaters. I mean, yeah. I mean, I talked about this, just started about it, but you all know about the Georgia Guidestones and their commandments. I guess there's 10 of them. I'm not sure. Maybe there's more, but they have their commandments written on those stones in Georgia, called the Georgia Guidestone. And one of those commandments are to keep the population or maintain the population at 500 million, a manageable number. There's a lot of talk out there about them putting that into high gear. They're talking about 90% of the world's population. That's what they need, according to them, according to the elites. They need 90% to be killed in order to, keep safe resources available for them and whoever's alive at that time. I mean, isn't that, nice of them, All of a sudden, because they have money somewhere along, because they decided to, however they got their money, whether inherited by, other relatives who, most of the money, I was going to get into some kind of ethical thing here about people who made money and stepped on people's heads to get there, or stabbed people in the back, and sometimes literally, to get this money. And there's a lot of things that the Rockefellers and Rothschilds have done in this country and created in this world in order to get rich. Not, including at least World War II that I know about, and maybe even World War One, and even the one that may be coming. Okay, them and their generations are responsible for a lot of the terrible things that are going on in this world. And of course, we don't fight against the flesh; it's the spiritual nature. They're being led by, somebody else. Yeah, they're calling us useless eaters. Clinton calls them deplorables. Okay, they must be eliminated, says the globalist. Far beyond the distractions of political bickering and cultural trends, the big picture that's unfolding across the world right now is a plan to exterminate 90% of the current human population in order to save the planet and protect what globalists see as the future of human survival on a cosmic scale. It's good that they're thinking about us, protecting and even protecting the cosmic scale, the universe. I mean, after all, right? According to some people, we're just stardust anyway. In a lot of cases, that may be true. I mean, we were taken from the ground, and in the ground and to the ground we will return, right? But not our spirits. That will go on. So, anyways, these are some of the things that they plan that are now actually happening. We all know about Elon Musk, and he's talking about a universal income. I mean, what are we going to do with the population now? We only need 500 million to maintain these robots and this robotic systems and other things that we've, technologically have bettered our society with them. And so we don't need society anymore. We have robots. Anybody say Skynet? Oh, the rise of robotic systems. I mean, we all know a lot of people have already lost their jobs because they've, replaced the workers with robots. And now that the technology with that has been, upgraded probably 100-fold. Now they're talking about the transgenderism, or transhumanism. Sorry. And AI and all that stuff. I mean, go watch your Terminator movies again, especially what was it? The second one? I don't know, maybe it was the first one. Whatever. In the beginning you saw it. You saw what happened. I mean, nothing but piles and piles of skeletal remains. And then you see this big robot that looks, like it's silver with red eyes, carrying a machine gun, just stepping on the skulls and crunching them. Then you have all these other machines flying around looking for other humans. But you know what? You know what happens in those movies? The humans, they prevail. Yeah, they do. Entitlements. Number 2 for them is entitlement payouts. See, humans are draining government resources. That's globalist belief that they should be spent on space colonization. Space weaponization, faster than light travel technology. Yeah, warp drive. Scotty, warp 9. Yeah. I mean, they already showed you that they have the technology anyway. Well, they had it. They went in Iraq and got more technology, and all those other places over there in the Middle East where life, mankind began, basically, over there in northern Africa. According to some people, Garden of Eden apparently was over there. But in any case, so yeah, no more entitlements. But they're scaring us with the fact that there's going to be, not only did Obama open the borders and tens of thousands, probably ones that I didn't even know. I know that they were flying over my head in cargo ships going to Massachusetts because their idiot governor there was taking them in. I seen the ads in the papers. $1,000 a person per month if you took an immigrant in. Yeah, I know some people that have taken 5 of them in. Ram them in some cellar somewhere. They're probably used to it anyway. Give them 3 meals a day, electricity, and then $5,000 a month. Wow. So here we go, folks. There's more talk, okay? If you wanted to know all about that. That's still up and around. And with all that going on, we got to put up with these faces again on the internet, okay? Obama's cash in, ramp up political voice and run up to a 2020 presidential election. She just wrote a book, and she got like $65 million just as a one-time, what do they call that? Advance. Yeah, advance. Okay? That's not to mention she's got this deal with Netflix for tens of millions of dollars. If that's not enough, former president, first lady are giving speeches for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They've been doing that for a long time, adding it to the Clinton Foundation. Yeah, I mean, supposedly she's going to run again. And these two are going to use this money. Yeah, if they're smart, they won't, to try and get Hillary in there again. I almost thought somebody asked me this. I mean, I know you can't be a three-term president. I mean, we've had at least one president who ran 3 terms, maybe more. But can you come and try to be president again? I mean, if Obama, 2-term president, now can he leave for a certain period of time or maybe a term and come back and run again for president? I mean, I've never seen anybody do it, so maybe it's true that, they cannot come back at all, period. Run for president again. But I don't know. I don't see anything too wrong with that, as long as it's the majority of the people. I don't give a hoot about this electoral process. It's all rigged. All right, so let's move on to more talk about strange things happening in the California wildfires. And, I know you hear it all the time, and you're going to be hearing it for a while. And you know what? The only problem with that is that all this evidence, I mean, we know that buildings, houses, and other structures, that catch on fire. Yeah, maybe some amber came from a distance, with all this ferocious winds that were created, and this one little amber started this neighborhood on fire. Just, say that happened that way. Even so, if this neighborhood caught on fire, wouldn't it burn the trees in this California state that has had a drought for who knows how long? 5, 7 years? I mean, wouldn't you think that these dried up trees, I mean, people make a joke, wouldn't it burn like, it's wood? It'd burn like a wildfire. But these trees, a lot of them, they're not burning. They're not. Obviously, some of them are burning from the inside, and that's, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on here. You got to think about this, all this talk about the 90%. They want to get rid of 90%. I don't know. We can go in and talk about this for hours. Maybe someday we should bring a whole bunch of these YouTubers in and have one big conversation. Evidence. Okay, so what can we do with all the evidence? Now we've collected it all. Everybody has the evidence. It's all over the internet. Okay, so who's going to do what with it? I mean, you're going to go and petition the White House. You're going to get the 5,000 or 10,000 signatures needed to any petition to be recognized by the White House to begin with. Do you want to even go to the White House? Why don't you go to mainstream media, get it out on TV? I mean, how else are you going to get it out to the people if the mainstream media is tainted, if it's bought and it's scripted, and they're not going to tell you the real things that are going on? How are we going to get it out? That's what we all should be thinking about. We need to get it out. We need to make sure that people get in touch with people, because, folks, maybe someday, they will take out the internet, like Bill Brizard has mentioned in his data about Nibiru. I mean, if that happens, if the internet goes out, people, I would just go and bury yourself in a hole somewhere, because something is going to happen. And I'm not talking about these little spurts where Google goes down for an hour or Facebook goes down for 30 minutes. I'm talking about, an entire day, maybe 2. Now that the UN has control of all this, and you know what? I think we should go get it back. Our internet, Okay, even though it was, yes, technically created by somebody in Switzerland while they were working on the Large Hadron Collider. I heard that there was a guy that was working there on that, actually invented the internet, and it just, I guess, I also heard that our military created the internet. So I don't particularly know which one's true. Maybe they're both true, since that maybe the guy from Switzerland built it, gave it to the U.S. military, or the U.S. military bought it and then made it better. However it goes, man, people, you need to start passing phone numbers. You need to start downloading video clips offline so that when your computers get hacked and all the memory and everything else in your computer is disappeared, is deleted. Windows 10, if you have Windows 10, you are surely in the running to have that happen, because they can go in there with this Windows 10. Why do you think for the first time ever in history of this computer thing, that they're going to give away a Windows package, Windows 10 package? Everyone has to pay for the upgrades. Yeah, and then after a while, if you like using one upgrade, I mean, you use it for a while, you don't want to change, and then they just make it, so they won't support it. So if you have problems with it, you're on your own, and that makes them make us upgrade. So, anyways, that's how it works. I've talked to people at Geek Squad, and they claim that through research, it has indeed spy material, software, whatever is in there, files, however they do it. I know nothing about programming. Yeah, so this is from News Punch. I guess this is a new one for me today. Ohio considers criminalizing abortion, with the death penalty for women and doctors found guilty. And I think we heard something like this before, too, that somebody else, I don't know if it was Ohio, that was considering that as well. Yeah, making it I believe that it is murder. So, all I can say, yes, it's a woman's body. Yes, it's a woman's body. A man's body is a man's body. A woman's body is a woman's body. But the woman has to have more, sensibility and know that she can give birth to this seed, and that she can't take that lightly. Anyways, I could go on for another while talking about that. It's their right, because it's their body. No, once you have a child, it's not her body anymore. It's not. It's hers and the baby's. I don't care whether it's an embryo or whatever. I mean, even God said that He knows us. Even from an embryo, even in the mother's belly, He knows who we are. And you say, yeah, well, some people even wait up until the last trimester and have abortions, and yeah, you don't want to talk about that anymore, because I've seen it. I've seen an abortion on TV before they took the stuff off, and you can't see it anymore. It was horrific. Yeah, but I hope, this is what it should be. I mean, it's just legalized murder is what it is, in my opinion. Let's see, also from News Punch, UK schools urged to show hardcore porn to students. What the heck are they freaking doing? Really, people. This is getting really bad over there in the UK. UK schools are being urged to show this hardcore pornography to students to help prepare them for the sexual perversions of society. I think that should be left up to the parents, and this is the problem with a lot of schools, whether it be in UK or in the United States, in this Common Core crap. We need to stop these people, whoever, these socialists who are let into our schools and prepping the minds of our children. Parents, it's your fault for letting it happen. In any case, it is. This is ridiculous. And there's many instances where schools do not tell parents, and they tell the children not to tell the parents. They don't have to. You know, when I heard sixth graders in Washington, I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, that they were giving these girls, sixth graders, devices to prevent pregnancy, okay, without telling the parents, okay, and telling the girls that they don't have to tell the parents, that it's their body. Anyways, that stuff should be kept out of the school. That's for the adults. You know, I know there's a lot of parents that are not quite adults, and there lies the problem. In any case, yeah, morals in this society, in this whole world, are just in the toilet, in the crapper, gone. I don't know if there's a way to get it back. I pray for that every day, that, well, as much as I can, remember to pray about it. And it's almost every day when I see stuff like this. And come on, let's all have the common sense that we're given by God. You know, we're given reason. And if you can't reason that out to find that this stuff should not be in school and taught by people you don't even know to your kids and other kids, even without your knowledge, if you can't reason that that's wrong, well, then you're probably one of those people that have been put in a delusion or let yourself be deceived and are in a delusion because of that. I understand that the Lord said that He will give people their delusion. And anyway, it's just crazy. And more news about voter fraud. Skid Row's homeless were bribed with cash in a massive voter fraud plot. I mean, we are constantly hearing about. I don't even know if Florida is done with their counting. There are other people that are still counting. Probably going to be people sent to court and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they wanted all those people to begin with. You know, in Obama's reign there, so they can all vote Democrat. Crazy things that these Democrats will do to keep up this world order thing. I don't know. Somebody told them that it was a good thing, kind of deceived them. So this from Activist Post. If America is such a happy place, which I don't agree at all, I don't know who said that. Why is suicide rate up 34% since last year, 2000? Well, I can give you some reasons why it would go up. Mainly because people just have lost hope. There is no more hope for anything in America. American dream? No, that's been long since dead. That died when my generation was finally opened their eyes and ears and realized the truth. That's when the American dream died. There was no American dream taught before or after that. I mean, a little bit to my children, yes. I mean, some things I didn't tell them, some things that I let them do that I shouldn't have. Sit in front of the TV while we eat dinner. That was a big no-no that I allowed to happen. Paying the price for that. And I hope to God that they don't pay the ultimate price. They are awakened. You know, at least, you know, in a point where they're able to understand anyway, and are able to listen. As long as they're able to listen, I mean, there is hope after that. But in any case, you know, this suicide, you know, it's a big thing. It's a big concern. And again, it's our environment as well. It's the environment. It's the chem spraying. They are putting chemicals in the chem spray. Aluminum, barium. I mean, those are the two things I've been saying quite often because of the California fires. I mean, aluminum dust burns and it burns hotter. Why do you think some of these metals and other things just, you know, melt. Okay, I've never ever before seen that done by a fire before, ever, unless it was in some kind of furnace and stoked. Case, yeah, this is going to continue to be a problem. I'm still in prayer about that. About why isn't there more you know awakening? So why isn't there revivals? Um, in any case, I'm just will just keep you aware in the meantime. This is one of these headlines that we need to be look at. This is one of the videos that was out probably early summer last year, maybe even longer than that, and posted yesterday, November 20th. It's it's the same pictures, and there's a video too. So why are they putting this stuff out again? I mean, I didn't think that this Free Thought Project would have done these things, repost something. I don't get why they had to repost the same article. So you got to watch out for that stuff. A lot of people are just throwing stuff out there that's already been out there, just to saturate, the market. I don't know what else to say about these things except this. Goodbye. Just be careful out there, because same old stuff. They use stock photos, and learn to trust who you get your news from, I guess, and go with that. Hopefully, maybe you'll recognize something before the commentator does. We're in this together, man. On this from Natural News. 35% of us now suffer from hydro. Let me get this. Let me start again. Hyper electrosensitivity. Yeah, debilitating syndrome caused by wireless technology. I mean, maybe that's why I'm tired, folks. Maybe that is it. I mean, they talk about some symptoms in here too, and one of them that I've had, and both times were in the summer, this past summer, as I was standing or walking from the parking lot from the building I'm at to my car. Both were in that general area when I experienced it was kind of like a dizziness, I guess. Felt like I was ready to pass out. I mean, things were just getting a little blurry. I thought it may have been my eyes were going bad or something, or some kind of a blood pressure or hack going on, but twice, okay? But they have this Wi-Fi there. A lot of people have it. I have it in my house. Probably why I'm tired half the time in my house, and a lot of Wi-Fi. Yeah. I don't know what to do when they start beaming in the 5G around here. I really don't know what to do. I guess I definitely would go and hardwire the system, but they're still going to be beaming it out in the neighborhood. So whether you're eliminating your house or not, how much that would save you from this attack, I don't know. But all I do know, you probably should go and get informed about this 5G. All these wireless things. They talk to you for quite a while now about your phones, about putting them up to your head. These things, they made it so, everyone has one. Why would they make something that everyone's got to have on them almost all the time or near them? Why? No other thing that I can think of right now that they've made, that you have to have around with you all the time. You think of something else, will you let me know? Besides your eyeglasses. I mean, even them, sometimes you just leave that somewhere and you go in another room, depending on, the site. So let's see. Yeah, consumer market these days has some kind of wireless component built into it. Yeah, everything is. From our cell phones to our computers to our cars, home appliances, constantly emitting electromagnetic frequencies or EMFs. Or, yeah, VLF, very low frequencies, which are government controlled frequencies, I believe. And then those things are harming our bodies and causing what's known as hyperelectron hydro let's see hyperelectrosensitivity. I don't know, my brain is fried since I tried to take that nap. I don't know, maybe it's the Wi-Fi in here. Yeah, think it's the Wi-Fi, could be. So as much as 35% of the general population, according to one report, now suffers from hyperelectrosensitivity or radio wave sickness. I can say that, which can manifest with symptoms such as headaches, dizziness, and nausea. I have to, I don't know, I don't know if I'm being talked into this or not, but I might have actually felt nauseated before or after the dizziness, but definitely experienced and never ever experienced before in my life was this dizziness and this blurriness too as well in the eyes. But anyways, in more extreme causes, hyperelectrosensitivity sufferers can experience immune systems decline and heart palpitations. Go. So, and them resulting from perpetual exposure to ultra high frequencies that our bodies simply cannot tolerate. Though the wireless industry denies that ultra high frequency dirty electricity in any way harms humans. Of course, they're going to deny it. It's all about the money, people. The money. The government, our government, even in an interview, I've seen it, people have seen it, okay, has admitted that they have not done studies in it and they're not going to do studies in it. And all they know is that this 5G is worth a lot of money, especially for the United States, to get it at the ground level, okay? And nobody is going to stop them. Nobody's going to stop them. Somebody's going to have to stop them or else they're going to kill 90% of the population. And then, who's going to stop them, right? Anyways, all right, so, but we can go on and talk about, there's a lot of details, and there are studies. Just looking at something glyphosate, something that Health Ranger talks about many times. I believe it's some kind of chemical, but that was another story. So let's move on to this one, which we should already know. Big Pharma's dangerous drugs are now killing more people than guns or automobile accidents. Yep. And that figure is at 49,060. Okay. New statistics from the National Institutes of Health show that more than 72,000 people died from drug overdoses during 2017. Of those, a staggering 49,000 people are said to have died as a result of opiate abuse. Yeah, but they're the first ones out there, on there, and they're going to have their war, okay? They're going to have their regulations from doctors. I know because I have to go get my medicine, okay? And my doctors tell them out all these regulations that they have to put up with, and that they're supposedly putting the, what do you call that? Putting their thumb down, But people, you got to realize that our government is the suppliers of all of these drugs. They are the suppliers. They stand right now guarding the Afghan poppy fields. Okay, they've been doing that since they got in there. Yeah, 60% of the world's opiate use comes from Afghanistan. Not to mention, we talked about the war on drugs and what really that war is about. So now 72,000, even, this is for car accidents, 40,000, fatal shootings, 15, homicides, 17, and even suicides, which are 45,000. Quite a big number there. Yeah, American citizens are paying the price, all right. Yep, for Big Pharma, okay? Got to realize the whole thing that's going on here is that with fluoride in your water, okay, other chemicals in your water, the stuff that they're pumping in the air, and they've been doing it for a long time. Long time. Imagine, a 30 or 40-year span of taking in these chemicals. And the more and more you go through, we talked about prep foods, right? Prepared foods. We talked about the frozen aisle at your grocery store, growing and growing and growing. And all these chemicals that they put in these foods in order to, so they say, preserve the food, even though it's frozen, okay, which, supposed to stop anything, that. But yeah, over a certain amount of years, people, there's going to be a lot of people sick. Then they're going to have to go to Big Pharma, get their medicines, and then we all die at a younger age, or in pain and in agony, or have Alzheimer's or dementia, where they can just herd you or cattle you into a building, a FEMA camp, and then you disappear. Then one morning, you're up, you don't know where you are, or you make up, or you relive instances in your life, or maybe somebody else's life, and then you're gone. It's a big cycle that they have got together, and they're not happy with it because it's taking too long. So everything's going to be ramped up. This bombshell, also from Natural News, USDA turns a blind eye to meat supply contaminated with banned pharmaceutical drugs. Okay? Sanderson Farms, the third largest poultry producer in the nation, advertises that their chicken is natural and antibiotic free. Like many large meat producers, Sanderson Farm gets away with these false claims without ever receiving any enforceable scientific scrutiny from meat inspectors working for the United States Department of Agriculture. Anyway, this is in court. So, according to a lawsuit, a team of independent scientists from the Consumers Union have analyzed USDA tests conducted on thousands of random meat samples from poultry, pork, and beef farms across the country. The findings, published by Consumer Reports, are shocking. Out of nearly 6,000 samples of meat, 2.6% contained chloramfenicol. I have no idea how you pronounce it. Chloramfenicol, an antibiotic that causes anemia in humans. For every 10,000 people exposed to this chemical, one will suffer a life-threatening condition called aplastic anemia. The levels of chloramfenicol exceeded safety limits set by the consumer teams of scientists. And people, it's not just that, it's in everything. Chemicals in everything. We know about the freaking lab-grown stuff. I was talking to Will Watchman, man, about the texture and the taste in the chicken that I've been buying lately. There's something wrong with it. Either there's something wrong with the two places that I'm buying it from. I stopped buying at one place because they came out with these Frankenstein chickens. And these, you see them on TV, well, maybe not TV and documentaries. You see them on the internet. You don't see it on TV. They won't show you those conditions where they have these, pump these chickens full of something to where these breast meat is grown, and these chickens are in these compact warehouses, and most of them, they can't go anywhere because the legs are either break or they can't stand because of the weight. Horrific conditions. Okay, I've seen many documentaries. Now I don't know what, is there really that much of a need for all this meat? I mean, especially grown and the way it is. I mean, yeah, I know that's food. Oh, hell, man, we used to, eat from the trees. We weren't supposed to be meat eaters. In any case, but, after the curse and the curse that, caused by Cain, in the ground, or instead of growing something, out of the earth, they got thorns and thistles for a while, and so they had to eat something else, right? So that's how we became meat eaters. In any case, need to cut down on that stuff. This one, we didn't do, yeah, we did a little while at the beginning. I told you, yeah, 13 degrees tomorrow, maybe a high of 25, and hopefully rain, steady rain, not too much to where they get their flash floods and mudslides, which I wouldn't doubt that happens, because the one thing they want over there is to move people out of California. They don't want them in there anymore. Some people are saying that, oh, well, China owns it now, so now we got to evict all the people. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna. There's not enough time to talk about China and whether or not they own stuff in this country, and our arch enemies, the biggest human rights violators in the world, besides North Korea. So, anyways, let's go on to other stuff. This is from the Watchers. 4 newly detected asteroids within 1 lunar distance, including second closest of the year. It was posted 2 days ago, actually. I got to watch this because Watchers does that. Not their fault, it's my fault. But, any case, so I don't know, these LD Apollo class asteroids, I didn't know there was certain classes of asteroids. I know that there's different sizes, but I don't know, a class like, ships and stuff like that are different classes, like a frigate class and carrier class. But anyway, this Apollo class asteroids were detected at Catalina and Mount Lemon Sky surveys on November 17th. I mean, hell, that was, 4 days ago? Yeah. I don't like getting this news 3-4 days later. I think they should have a little warning. Because a lot of these things, you look on them, you go to the JPL, that's the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and that's where you get this stuff. And you can go there and look for yourself, but maybe they should have that on TV, if I was in charge of TV, there'd be a whole different sort of channels and things on the TV. Yeah, we would have these things, and maybe daily updates, just a channel for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the NASA channel or all these other fake channels. In any case, we always learn after the fact, so it doesn't matter. They flew, already flew by. Okay, so there are more, and there's a lot of stuff up there that are flying closer, and we have these things going through our atmosphere, all the time. Most of them get destroyed, in the upper atmosphere before we even see them. In any case, I mean, that's the Lord's protection. That, the Van Allen belt. For anybody coming in and anybody going out. There they are, if you want to know about them. 3 of them. All under 1 LD. And they'll give you details here. Used to follow this stuff a lot, but it takes some time. That and searching through all the Soho channels and the Sun observatories and so on and so forth. I just want to check and see how long I've been on. Oh yeah, it's time to get off. Looks like I've had visitors too. Yeah, Terry and Kathy. God bless Terry and Kathy. I don't know if you're still here, but we're going to get ready to get off in a second. Got a couple more things here, but man, we've already been going for an hour. Crazy, crazy. Who wants to listen to the darn news for an hour? No. I know, I do listen to stuff that are that long, and sometimes I've listened to ones that are 2 and 3 hours. But it takes a lot of effort sometimes, unless they can pique your interest, whether it's valleys up and down, as long as they can keep piquing your interest. I mean, they can get you to stand, right? Yeah, if you just get somebody just talks the same thing all the time and doesn't have any inflections or whatsoever, just keeps talking like this, and yeah, that would be pretty boring. Yeah, that would drive me nuts. Democrats revives nuke threat to gun owners. I picked this up. I haven't really read it, but so anyway. Brings back suggestion that war against those refusing to relinquish firearms would be short. That's what it really means. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, just create, martial law. Just have the National Guard out and just go door to door like they did in Boston. They did that thing there. They're having a test going on. They did those explosions on purpose so they could shut this town, this Boston down, wherever it was at that time, down and go looking door to door. You know that there were guns confiscated in those little what the hell do you call it? Unlawful searches. Apparently looking for some guy, some patsy was hiding out in a boat somewhere. I mean, just crazy. You cannot go. I don't care. You're looking for some other guy. Okay, I might even give them the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, come in. I don't know why I would say that, because I wouldn't let him in. Not anyway. I told him that I'll probably tell him I'll go check the house for you. But no, they're not going to come in there. And not only that, pull people out of their house, arrest some people for resisting, and then take their freaking guns. There's no way would that be happening. I know some people didn't have a choice, but anyway. All right. So in any case, I don't know why I even brought that up there. This is the other thing. I couldn't figure out whether this was from Friday. This says 24 hours ago. Dow plunges 500, erases gains for 2018. See, that headline I've already seen. I think I've already seen last Friday, even before that. Then they have it up here again, WND. I don't know what's going on. Is it me? Am I going crazy? Am I seeing, headlines now that I saw a couple of days ago? Am I seeing headlines from the future? I don't know. Probably pretty sure that I'm not seeing headlines from the future. Yeah, and this is a big thing too. This has been going on for about a week now, right? Week and a half. CDC warns, don't eat any romaine lettuce. Major E. coli breakout or outbreak. Dozens sickened. I mean, yeah, we've known that last week. So 2 days before families across America sit down for the big Thanksgiving meals, the CDC is warning people not to eat romaine lettuce of any kind due to an outbreak of E. coli infections. Now, that's not what they said before. They were talking more or less about the pre-cut up type packages. I don't know. Now they're saying not of any kind. I don't know. I think they should go and test these things. There's more than just E. coli in these things. And who knows? 32 people have become ill from a strain of Shiga toxin producing E. coli in 11 states from October 8th through October 31st. 13 of those people were hospitalized, including one who suffered kidney failure. In addition, at least 18 people in Canada have been infected with E. coli and in Ontario and Quebec. All of those cases have been linked to romaine lettuce, and the CDC said consumers should not eat it. Well, we just heard that. Thank you very much. Okay, people, so that makes it easy. Don't eat any romaine lettuce at all, period. All right, folks, it's Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. Just want to wish you all very pleasant days with your family. Yeah, Terry. We got to be going a little crazy with all the stuff that's going on out there. I mean, Wendy's, you know what? And I actually ate, I actually had Wendy's today. And I tried to pray over every meal, and sometimes I do forget. I mean, I'm kind of new at it. I've been doing it, probably for the past 6 months, trying to do it everything I eat. And every once in a while, I mean, you just forget that you see the food in front of you, and you just take a big bite out of it, and that's it. Sometimes I remember when I'm, taking my second bite or taking the first bite, instead of saying, thank you, Father, for this food we're about to eat, I say, thank you for the food we are eating. And sorry that didn't do this, in the beginning. Years for me all the time. Anyways, please, people, with your families, I mean, it goes without saying. I know some people are getting together for the first time, maybe all year. Some families travel distances to be with their families, and just try to be more understanding. Try to forgive. Try not to take offense at things. I mean, these and others are your family. They're blood relatives or just friends and family. I mean, we need to just give thanks to God for everything that we have, because, speaking for myself anyways, I have a lot of stuff. I have more than anybody could possibly need. I wish I could find the people who don't have it so I can give it to them, but in any case, I'm always thankful for that. I thank him every day. And I'm not going to go around just because everything's good today, and I'm just going to go around whistling and singing a tune. No, everything's fine, everything's good. And then ignore the Father, ignore the God who gave you all that stuff. I don't do that. Some people just go without, once they're content and everything's going well, then that's it. They don't thank God for having it, for them feeling that way or being that way or being blessed, being healthy, whatever it is. Try and thank him every day, especially in the morning. Thank you, Lord, for give me another day to mess up. Please teach me something that I don't know, please. But he gives me one thing every day. One thing. Has never failed. A long time ago I asked, and he has never failed me, even when I wasn't called. I know I was given things. I always have learned at least one thing every day, and I took note of it. God bless you all this evening. Kept you way too long this time, so be blessed. Be happy. Yeah, like my 2-year-old daughter said to me one time when I was angry. She was 2. She come right up to me, and says, "Don't worry, Daddy, be happy." You remember that commercial? Long time ago. Some guy was singing that about a Coca-Cola or Pepsi commercial. Don't worry, be happy. It's amazing that 2-year-old came up to me and knew that much about me and how I would feel and about this song and put it to these two things together and come up to me and tell me that. Don't worry, Daddy, be happy. Yeah, like I wrote a poem that night too. Kids are so great. So people, go enjoy your kids. You don't have kids, enjoy someone else's kids. Why not? Kids are great. They just do a lot for you and make you smile, make you happy, make you think. And they're just like, God wants us to be like. They just want to soak up all this information. That's why they ask, well, why this? Why that? You ever get that? God bless everyone. Um, enjoy your Thanksgiving. I'll be around. Uh, don't know in what capacity. So I will see you in the next day or so. Peace out, everyone.